Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Gripe, the show for a short, sweet review of new release movies, plus the one thing that annoyed me the most. And today I'm going to be talking about the film Split, the first movie of 2017 that I've seen in theaters. And I will give you a spoiler warning because there is a major spoiler. When three teenage girls are abducted by a strange man, they quickly learn he has a dark secret. Now they are trying to escape with their lives before the beast is unleashed upon them. The film stars James McAvoy, Anya Taylor-Joy, Betty Buckley, Haley Lou Richardson, Jessica Sula, Sebastian Arcelus, and Brad William Henke. And the film is directed by M. Night Shyamalan. Let me start by admitting that I had very little hope for this movie. Shyamalan is someone I used to defend vehemently up until Lady in the Water. Then The Happening happened, and I just couldn't defend him any longer. But I will concede that this movie was not as bad as I was expecting. It certainly looked like another Happening. Now, if you saw the trailer for this movie, it gives away a pretty good chunk of the plot. And the movie doesn't really rise above what you already know going into it. But it is a patient movie, and the tension builds a little bit late, but it isn't frantic. And this is the Shyamalan direction that made me love him originally, that patient filmmaking, that building tension. The story, though, is very straightforward. It focuses much more on the situation and the characters than it does on any kind of really developed plot. It is low budget, though. It was made for about $10 million, and you can definitely tell that with the style. It's very raw. The characters are certainly interesting, at least Kevin's identity is played by James McAvoy, and Anya Taylor-Joy's character, Casey. McAvoy is plenty creepy, and you definitely see a lot of close-up of his face. And there are scenes where you have to wonder if he thought Shyamalan was messing with him when he told him what to do in that scene. But no matter what, he owns it throughout, even as he switches between the identities that he has. Anya Taylor-Joy is the only other character in the film that really has much of an arc. She's presented as this weird character, and we learn why she's so weird, thanks a lot to her creepy uncle played by Brad William Henke. Does that guy ever play a normal dude? And you get a tinge of her performance from the witch in this closed off, darkly emotional character. I also want to give some credit to Betty Buckley, who played Dr. Fletcher, but her character also felt more like a plot device than a really fleshed out character. So my key gripe with this movie is that even though they showed you everything in this movie in the trailer, there's something else about it that really didn't sit well with me. And that is that Shyamalan loves to take concepts and build a story around them. But where he fails here is trying to explain the reality of that concept in plain terms. When Dr. Fletcher is explaining Kevin's condition, she explains it as reaching the full potential of the mind. So yes, they went just like a movie like Lucy. They're trying to go with that potential of the mind shtick that a lot of people have tried lately. But here it really feels like a big leap, and it kind of makes the whole thing less meaningful. Why do I say that? Why does it diminish that effect? Because of the twist. So turn back now if you don't want to know what it is. This movie is a secret sequel to Unbreakable. It exists in the same universe. And by trying to science explain his condition, it kind of ignores the effect that you got from Unbreakable, where it was this more mystical explanation. It wasn't scientific. There was more mystery behind it. The way they explain it here is they explain it isn't just his superpower, it's something they explain that others can achieve, that others have achieved. Maybe not to his degree, but it just felt like a real leap in this movie. So about that twist. As soon as the music started playing at the end title, I knew what it was, and I was angry at myself for not seeing it throughout the movie. Unbreakable is definitely my favorite Shyamalan movie, and that's even over The Sixth Sense, which is an excellent movie, but I love Unbreakable more. And throughout the film, I felt this slight connection between the two, but I just attribute it to M. Night Shyamalan's Renaissance. And this is a much better movie than some of his recent releases, at least the ones that I've seen. And even if the writing is so-so, the direction and flow are way more controlled, much like Unbreakable. And then they did it. They connected Split to Unbreakable, first with that music nod, and then the obvious. Bruce Willis shows up at the end as David Dunn to remind us of not only his character, but also Samuel L. Jackson's character, Mr. Glass. Honestly, this is probably the best twist since Unbreakable, mainly because it's not really a twist. It's a surprise, and a clever one, and it actually makes me want to watch the film again with it in mind, knowing that this is actually a sequel to Unbreakable. Overall, while the movie doesn't tread new ground or really rise above the basic premise, it does prove that M. Night Shyamalan can still make good movies. It's low budget, and honestly, that might be its saving grace. McAvoy and Taylor-Joy dominate the screen and keep it intriguing, even if the other characters are thin. And with a twist like this one, I can say, at least in the end, my expectations were exceeded. I'm giving the film 7 out of 10, mostly because of that twist, but also because I did feel overall it was an improvement for Shyamalan. Let me know what you thought of Split, whether you liked it or didn't like it, and tell me what you thought of the twist. And that does it for this episode of Key Gripe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye! Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Nice work. Good job. If you like what you saw, you can just go ahead and click that subscribe button for all videos past and future. You can also head over to my website and see all the other stuff that I do, including the books I've written. So go ahead, click stuff.